Beautiful people, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Sunday Sessions with Rich podcast. If you're new to the show, I drop these things every single Sunday. You can find me on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcast shit. On today's episode, I have a super special guest. She is a public figure, high vibe clothing, and practical spiritual teacher. She helps you heal and transform your everyday life. She's a founder and mentor of Manifest with Gigi. Gigi, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Of
And
course.
wow.
I gave you such a mini red carpet. I know you can do it so much better. But for those who don't know you, those who do know you, let us know who you are and what you got going on.
Yeah, so my name is Gigi. I am a self-love and soul manifestation coach
Come
and
on.
mentor. I help people create magic and miracles in their everyday life from within. So I call it soul manifestation because I want us to manifest from our soul and from our heart versus the ego. So my thing is
Ooh.
helping you become what you want to manifest, helping you become the love, the abundance, to become the safety and the peace. And then from there, you can attract whatever your heart wants from that place without so much of the manifestation hacks and tips.
Yeah. Let's dive into it though, because I feel like a lot of the misconception about creating a reality and manifestation is the what you just described is becoming the abundance, becoming that energy, that entity, if you will. Talk to us a little bit about your experience with coach and how you do help people shift that perspective of self.
Yeah. So one, I like to see what is it that you are wanting. And I like to ask my clients, I like to decipher where are you trying to attract what you are wanting from.
Mhm.
So a little bit about me and how my business
The
became
flow
how.
is yours. The flow is yours.
So I'm a lover girl, and I've since a little girl, I've always wanted to be the Cinderella, the princess. Like I had the little heels, all of my bathing suits were bikinis with the little ruffles. I was a girl's girl, and
Love it.
I loved fairy tales and rom-coms, and I just always wanted love. And I thought that once I have love, a partner, a man,
Hmm.
that everything was going to be okay. That I really
Yeah.
didn't have to worry about anything. I didn't have to worry about loving myself. So a theme for me, and I've just realized that this was a theme, was relationships. So every relationship,
Mm.
most relationships that I have been in have always, I don't like to say broken my heart, but has opened my heart up so that
Expanded it.
I expanded it so that I can find that love within myself and be whole. And so
Listen,
in high
listen up,
school,
folks. She's dropping gems right now.
yeah, I had one of the most traumatic relationships was my boyfriend in college was killed. So
Oh,
from that
I'm so sorry.
experience, thank you, thank you. So from that experience, that truly opened me up, and it was the beginning of my conscious beginning of my self-love journey and my journey back to self. So I've taken all of that, all of the heartbreaks, and the last one, I was like, okay, I don't want to feel like this no more.
Yeah.
Like, this is
Enough is
crazy.
enough.
Enough is enough. Like after my last breakup, I was like,
Can't do this no more.
there's no way that source wants me to be this dependent on another person or anything
Exactly.
outside of me to make
Exactly.
me happy and fulfilled. So from there, I um started, reading the books, listening to the Abraham Hicks.
I
Abraham
love
Hicks is
Abraham Hicks.
my
Oh, I went to that cruise, I think it was last year. They had one in Chicago.
that is
You gotta go.
so they will be in Miami in December, so I'm
And
going.
I know you're going. I was gonna say, I know you're going.
Oh, for sure. So Abe Hicks was a part of my life for a year and a half. I still
Yeah.
listen to them, but it was a daily thing.
Hmm.
And a weird story,
No such thing.
sidebar. Source is going to find you wherever you are. I remember. So in Miami, we have a club called Tootsie's.
I
And
love it. I love it.
so it's a strip club, but the locals, we just go there, to hang out. The high school people are there. And this
Yeah.
was years ago, like 4 years ago. And a guy there, we started talking about angel numbers, and he literally suggested a book. And I'm like, okay, I I'll read it. Never
Which
ordered it.
one?
A few weeks later, I look at the photo. I ordered all these books that Wayne Dyer suggested,
I love Wayne
and
Dyer.
it was literally Abraham Hicks. I'm
Knew
like, not
it.
Abraham Hicks finding me in the strip club.
Which one was it? Which one was it?
It
Accent
was
is
the
given.
Vortex.
The Vortex. Oh,
The Vortex, but I ordered Accent is Given. Accent is Given was the first book I read.
Abraham Hicks popping up in a strip club. Come
In
on
the strip
now.
club.
That's so
So I
fucking
just have to
dope.
tell that story that, like, hey, I'm a normal person. I'm a regular person.
Source go find you wherever you at. Don't
So
even matter.
yeah. So from there, I just deeper and deeper. I met Aaron, had some soul sessions.
Hey, Aaron,
Um,
if you're watching this right now.
hey Aaron girl, hey sis. And discover that I'm really here to do some big things, that
Mm,
I am a channel, all the things, quantum healer,
come on.
and the rest was history from there.
Oh, this is
So yeah, so every day, so my mission when I'm working with people, I truly just want, I think I always say the manifestations are the cherry on top. But
yeah.
truly, I want us to remember who we are, remember that we are creators,
Yes.
that there's nothing we cannot be, do, have, and then to attract the money, the lover, whatever it is from that place.
I'm always curious because everybody has like we have many awakenings, I personally believe.
Mm.
What was like that initial catalyst was like, I'm the creator of this shit. I'm
When
always
I really
curious.
started to believe that I'm creating my reality, it was
Oh,
the smallest thing. So what I used to do on my way to work, I would be like, okay, if y'all real, let me see 1111 on somebody's tag or 444.
yep. I need that
and
proof.
and I was like, and I want to see it before I get to work.
Mhm. And that
And it would happen.
specificness of it made it pop up in your reality.
And then what happened, I was like, oh shit. And Jay-Z has this song. He's like, this spiritual shit really works. Like
It
he said,
really,
I was like, oh, this
come
might be
on.
real. And then I started to get, we all have moments where we struggle with money. And that was also
Yeah,
another thing that I needed to overcome so that I can help people
yeah.
create abundance, wealth in their lives. Um, one day I just wrote out my money story and I'm like, okay, well, where's the money? Show me the money coming in. And I
Mm,
started to get free things. I would get invited, my dinner paid for,
come
or
on.
someone owed me money. And I remember this like it was yesterday. And they literally like called me and sent the $20 that they owed me. My aunt was going on a trip to Milan, Italy, and for work. And she will always invite me. So I went, and then I'm like, I want to fly first class. No money, no money. So I did not fly first class going, but I lost my purse at the store. And then my back was hurting. My aunt was like, she's having such a hard time. Let me buy her a first class trip back. So,
Damn.
and I was like, oh my God. And then
This
my
shit really
wallet,
works.
it really worked. And then they also shipped my wallet back home to the States.
Got a
I was
first
like,
class flight and got your shit back.
oh, it's lit. It's lit.
So I'm always curious, like, because it's that belief, like you truly believe that you would fly first class, and I believe that's what people mess up at. Like you
Mm.
can speak all the shit in the world, but if you don't have that belief, then you're not gonna shift into that timeline at all. But you knew, I don't know if it's gonna be you probably thought it would be when you was flying there, but
I thought it was going to be, and this is another something else that I learned. I thought it was going to be on my way there. And then my phone tried to upgrade me and it didn't go through. It didn't happen. And I was just like sad. And then I was
yeah,
like, you know what? And that's when I realized you cannot let your current reality stop you
gotta
from what
ignore
you
it,
want. You have
gotta
to
ignore it.
ignore. That was one of the biggest tools that I learned on this journey. Like completely
Mm,
ignore it. Ignore what's in the bank account
yep,
right now,
yep.
because all of that is going to try to knock you off your pivot, try to throw you
Hmm.
off. So just simply ignore it and know that your reality is shifting, regardless of what's happening right now.
I got
Because
a homie, I got a homie who struggles with the ignoring the reality part, and I'm like, you gotta play delusional. You have to.
I think that's the hardest part because it's so real, it's so tangible. Like literally, it's like I'm looking at my bank account, girl, nothing is in here.
Right.
Like,
What
so
you
what do
mean I'm
you
a
mean?
millionaire? What you
What do you
mean?
mean ignore it? But you truly, and I think it's that faith piece.
Hmm.
When you ignore it, I think what's happening is you're signaling to the universe that I am this new person. Like, I am an abundant person. Although this bank account, whatever this says, is whatever it's saying has nothing to do with me. I am this new person. So the universe has to, your reality has to
That's
reflect
no
what you believe.
choice.
It has no choice. It's here to serve us. The universe is here to serve us. It has no choice but to make your beliefs a reality. So even when you believe, and you are so powerful that even when you believe you don't have the money, the universe, although they don't want to, the universe has to show you, yeah, you don't have money.
Another this is, I love this conversation. Another one of the so little backtrack. When I met Aaron, we were like in this little mastermind group. It's things like 7, 8 years ago. I feel old as hell saying the story. No, was it 7 about 6, 7 years ago. And she introduced me to Abraham Hicks and a bunch of other teachers. And before that, I had like a little mini awakening where I was watching The Secret on Netflix, and like this explosion happened in my head. I'm like, fuck. And I remember like, damn, I create this shit. Cool. So then the struggle part happened where, okay, I'm like, damn, okay, I create this. I want an A7 audit. I want that bitch black. I want tinted windows. And I'm writing this shit, and then it's not manifesting. So I'm starting to doubt, like, does this really work? But then I'm like, this is a big buffer period with what you're asking. Also, your vibrational money is shit at the moment. So you definitely not going to align with that A7 audit. So little things I didn't know back then. Also, even a belief they don't teach you. You like we said, you have to become that energy, that vibration, that person. And then fast forward, once I started doing that shit, one thing that has really like solidified my knowing and trust in the universe is like airport anxiety. So whenever I would fly, something would happen, and then I would always have to surrender. And then once I surrendered, that's when it worked itself out. So I said, okay, I'm fully accepting how this shit work now. Okay, I got you.
It's like, oh, you really have to relax. You really have to
You ain't
surrender.
got no
And I
choice.
think, and some people think surrendering means, I have to drop what I want, but it's just allowing the space for the universe to work. I remember one time I had this moment where I was in the Starbucks line. You know how long the lines could be.
I'm addicted to Starbucks.
Oh,
So
I
good.
love me a matcha. So I'm in the line. The line is so long, and I got aggravated. And then I'm like, you know what? Relax. Just, it's okay. Where are you gonna go? You're in line. So I get to the front, and they're like, oh, they just upgraded my drink. They gave me extra stuff. They made it large, and it tasted better than it ever tasted. And I was like, okay, source, okay, universe, you're saying when I wait, like, just chill, because
Just
what we're
chill.
doing, we're adding some extra sauce, some extra ingredients, because it's
Oh,
always better than what you think is coming.
always works out
So
better. Always works out better.
just surrender and allow the universe to do its thing.
Guys, when you surrender, think of it this way. This I always frame it to the homies. Think of it like like a play. You watching a play in the theater with the actors and shit. When that buffer period of you waiting is them setting up the next stage. You can't rush perfection. They still got to put that nail in. They still got to put up the prop. The actors still got to put their makeup and hair and shit on. Just relax. It's being built.
Yeah, hold the vibration. I always say,
Hold.
hold the vibration. Do not. I love when I hear Nipsey Hussle,
Oh,
the
I love
don't
Nipsey.
fold, 10
Yes,
toes down.
come
What
on.
comes into my mind is hold the vibration. Stay down. Stay down.
Ignore the
Because
reality. It could be cloudy as hell. And you like, you know what? It's gonna be sunny today, and you hold that vibration and boom, sun up.
and it can get crazy. I'm not the reality stuff in the beginning. I was just looking back, I don't even know how I just kept going, kept pushing, kept meditating, kept reading. But you have to,
You
like,
have to. Oh
you
yeah.
just have to keep pouring into yourself until you are literally living in a different vibration, until your mind, your set point is completely different, more so positive than it is negative. So just keep going. It's like flooding out all of the old beliefs, all of
Yeah.
the old thoughts. So just keep pouring into yourself, even if you don't see anything changing. Keep listening to the high vibrational content, keep
Yes.
reading books, keep meditating,
So
keep
key.
journaling, because it's gonna happen.
Oh, that's so key because you have to, like you said, you have to continue to program your subconscious, and you can't waver at all. You can't talk, you can't get down to yourself and, oh, this shit ain't working. Or even it's like what you consume too. Like it's a lot of, I don't watch a lot of TV shit or like listen to certain music. Like I'm very particular with what I program my subconscious mind now. So that's what guys, that's what you have to do. Like I'll watch Aaron Lives. I'll watch, YouTube. Like I got my like YouTube is basically my TV at this point.
Same.
YouTube's
And
my TV.
I thought that was going to change. So in the beginning, I got rid of my TV. And years later, I still
Damn.
don't have my TV in my room, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And because at the point, like, you're so fragile and
Yeah.
you think that you can handle it. You think you can watch certain things and that it's not going to go to your subconscious mind. But you have to think of yourself as a little baby. Like, we're not going to feed a baby
Oh,
certain things because they
yeah.
can't. So in the beginning, I was very strict about what I was watching because I know that I wasn't vibrationally strong enough to
Yeah.
not revert back to those thoughts. So it was all in, all in. It takes joyful sacrificing.
And it's like any rep, like those your repetitions, and that to a point it just became you. It fully became you. And now it's just your everyday shit.
It's my everyday thing. Even if we're human, if I have a moment of being out of alignment, it's like a trampoline. It
Yeah.
just goes right back. And it's like, okay, girl, you were able to feel what you needed to feel. Let's go.
We gotta pivot back. We gotta pivot back. I'm curious because you're with abundance. Money can be a tricky subject to a lot of people because like you said, like you were describing, you're like, well, my bank account say negative $35. What do you mean? Like, but you still have to hold the vibration. Can you talk to us like with your clients that you worked with and just like everything that you embody right now with your like daily habits? What's some tips or some things that you've noticed can like help some people in that situation?
Abundance. Money was one of the hardest things for me to overcome my relationship with money. So in the beginning, one, it was really just ignoring the reality.
Mm-hmm.
So the meditating, the self-love, the journaling, all of that helped me to not make money determine my worthiness and who I
Yeah,
was. So first starting with that, like truly the self-love, knowing who you are on a soul level. Meditation helped with that. And the journaling, the self-appreciation list that I would do every morning. I would write down 10 things about myself
love
that
that.
I loved. And it was like, oh girl, you don't need money, you okay? And then
Okay,
you start to
cool.
glow and you literally walk out and your tab is covered, like things work out. But specifically, so for money, I read a book. What is that book called? It's like a 30 day. Is it The Magic? And
I
then,
know I know you're talking about. I
yeah.
think it is. I think it is.
So I did everything. So there was
Yeah.
like tools where you would get your bills and you would
That
open up
was
your
that
bill.
magic. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I
you
know what you're
would
talking
write
about.
out like, this money is on its way to me. Thank you for paying this bill. I would do that. Um, when I would spend money, like not being sad about it, not being mad about it. Or if I do find myself being like, damn, like I would just go, okay, so paying this AT&T bill is helping me get on this call with Richard. It's helping me
That's real.
post
That's
on
real.
social media. This AT&T bill, I'm talking to my cousin who lives in France on this phone.
What's the
Be,
value that I'm getting
what's
from
the
paying?
value? Be
Yeah.
grateful in that. What else? I worked with Aaron on just healing my relationship with my parents.
Mm,
So my dad was the breadwinner when I was younger, and we would go to Disney and have fun at Disney just randomly, and then
mm.
my dad became addicted to drugs. So, and then all of that went away. So my
Wow.
mom was a single parent and we struggled and we had to get the off-brand chips. For a period of time, our needs were always met, but there would be times where I just couldn't get what I wanted.
Yeah.
So just healing that relationship and being
Ooh.
okay with that experience, because now I know that I chose my parents, and I love
Yep.
my parents, and my mom is my girl, okay? I chose that experience so that I can be to where I am now, so that I
Can
can overcome that.
can we
And
talk about that? I'm sorry.
yes,
Can we?
let's talk about it.
Because a lot of people don't know, like we choose the characters in this
Ooh,
shit, especially like you said, your parents. Like last, don't know how many times we've been here. Last go around, my mom could have been my dad could have been my mom. You don't know, but you chose these people for certain things, and you don't know the contract that you guys set up for yourselves before coming here. So kudos and applaud to you for you understanding like this woman with my dad is what we signed up for before we came here, and you looking at it from a soul perspective versus the
yeah.
ego perspective.
Oh, yeah. I even recently had a session, and I talked about, so my with the whole thing with my parents and choosing your parents, I had a moment where I even like thanked their souls. I was like, wow, like y'all conspired all this, y'all linked up and said, we are the perfect souls to birth Gigi so that she can come here. Y'all going to give her these experiences so that it's going to trigger her to go back into herself. And also the love, because my mom truly loves me unconditionally. And because of
Yeah,
her, I'm able to freely do this and talk about being a Black woman growing up in church and be like, oh, I'm spiritual, y'all. Like this is like just having that space. But
yeah,
like even like choosing a dad who what people would say abandoned their family,
yeah.
just honoring his soul, that honoring that role that this man signed up to be
Like I
on
see
drugs.
you, I see
Like,
you.
yeah, like this man signed up to be on drugs. Like, like, like you have to have some grace in that and extend grace to that person. Like
Damn,
you signed up for all that so that I can have those experiences to get back to myself, to my love,
unconditional
to
love.
my
That's
heart,
unconditional love.
unconditional love. So yeah, I
Damn.
had that moment and that it was just so beautiful and so liberating to have that.
God, guys, I hope y'all picking up on each other because god damn, like you loved me enough to script yourself to have that experience
Ooh,
so that I can find myself and be what?
ooh, yeah.
Damn, that's deep.
It's deep. And it's deep. It's deep. And it took time to get to that point. But I truly, truly honor my parents, everybody in my life. I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be here. And I love that.
It's so dope too, because I always look at it like, like get to a certain point where when the child becomes the parent, like
Oh,
we start knowing more. So I find it interesting, like being with the type of awareness and perspective that we have when we're chatting with our parents, and just thinking about that's wild.
I have my mom listening to Abraham.
Mom
She's
is listening
like,
to Abraham
yes,
Hicks.
she's reading. Sometimes I
Yo,
assign her a book. I'm like, Mom, here. I've been working with her on her money manifestation.
that is
And
fucking
she have
dope.
these moments and she's like, oh. But sometimes she's like, that's too far. Like
It's too
that's too
far. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's always that cap.
like
It's
one
always that
time
cap.
I told her, I'm like, well, I was like, I was your mom in a past life. She was like, that's too much. That's too much. Like that's
Like, damn, I can see that.
yeah.
No, because it goes against the whole religion and everything they
Mm.
believe. Like, what do you mean you could have been my mom last life?
She's like,
What?
enough. I'll listen to Abraham. I'll read these books.
But the fact that you've been planting that seed though, and she's even
Yeah.
open to have that conversation with you is
Yeah.
dope as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
You kind of got me on that one. I didn't even think about it that deep. Shit. I'm always curious because like when you're first going through your remembering of self,
Mm.
uh you walk on eggshells, you tiptoe around your people, because you sound crazy as hell. What do you
Oh
mean? I
yeah.
create my reality. What do you mean I'm a spiritual being having a human experience?
Mm.
What do you mean? Like, but then I've noticed, like, gradually, like the old selves die off, which is okay. You served your purpose with the roles that you were supposed to be in that point of time, and me being my just authentic self, not caring how I look. I'm actually
Mhm.
helping you in your journey. I'm actually helping you plant seeds.
I'm
May
helping
not
you.
you may not even like any of my shit, but I know that something is resonant. You find a value in it.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta tell me, but I know.
You don't gotta tell me. But I know. And it's like, and you know, because like you're told, like too, like, you know, when you're connected in this space, you know what you're doing. You know, just
Mhm.
by being in a room, like without even speaking, like you're doing something vibrationally for these
Yeah.
people. But yeah, you know, and in the beginning I was scared, but I lived in Atlanta. For some reason I moved to Atlanta. Now I see why.
Okay.
And I was away from my family for 2 years.
Oh wow.
And yeah, and the pandemic happened, so I was truly alone. I was
How
truly
did you
alone.
navigate that though, especially with this like awareness you have?
Oh, ooh, that was, I don't know. I was just so, when I read certain things, I was just like, my mind was just like, what? Like, I just wanted to eat it, like, eat it up. Like,
Yeah.
so it wasn't, did have moments where you felt alone,
Yeah.
but for the most part, I was just so eager. Like, I was so eager. And I wanted to just be, the amount of books I've collected and read over that time, I just wanted to be with that information. I felt home.
Mm.
I just felt like it was me. Like I was learning this new person. I tell my friends
Yeah.
now, they're like, "You're 33." I'm like, no, I'm like 7. Like, just like I don't know this. Like I just. So
It's that
I,
childlike curiosity.
yeah. So yeah, I did have moments where I felt alone, but for the most part, just the meditation and connecting with myself,
Mm.
I'm a party by myself. Like
Thanks.
I have a good time. I have a good time.
It don't even matter. It don't even fucking matter. That's so fucking dope. Guys, I hope you picking up on all these gems on this episode. Cause god damn. I'm kind
God.
of I'm curious. So something I've been not more so adopting more into my reality is just having that attitude of gratitude. Like
Mm,
if someone offers to pay for something or a gesture that we may not deem as abundance or currency actually is. And
that's
then I
so
didn't
good.
feeling entitled, feeling being a brat about some shit. Like you didn't even have to receive this, and you being a brat because it ain't you're
Oh,
not getting what you want, how
what
you
you
want it,
expected, what you
what you
thought it was gonna look
expected.
like. You're not getting what
Exactly.
you thought it was gonna look
And
like.
you ain't even paying for this, and you come. It's
You're not even paying, sir. You're not even paying for it. And that's another like tip for when we were talking about the money, changing the money frequency.
yeah.
Um, and I love that because that's in the beginning of changing my money frequency. That's how I knew it was working. Because
Mm-hmm.
as I said, I started to get free things. I got invited to restaurants, to dinners, and did not have to pay for anything.
Come
So
on.
sometimes we think abundance is just the money in the bank account. No, it's also the
No.
ease, it's the flow,
Come on.
it's the people giving you a ride, it's money, it's the
The
love.
small
It's
things.
the small things. And I posted this the other day that money is just one symbol of abundance.
Yep.
And if
Yep.
you reject all other symbols, how are you going to get the money? Like you really have to receive it all. Like, how are you going to receive money if you can't receive a compliment? That was a thing. That's abundance. You
You
have to
just
receive a compliment, a
you just
ride.
called you called me out earlier. I was at the gym, and this guy, and I just thought about this. He was being super nice to me, but I was being a dick because I was like, I'm in my zone. I'm like, just leave me alone. And now looking back at that, he was offering me abundance with kindness in that moment,
Yes.
and I shut it down.
Well, now you're aware of it, Richard.
Now
So
I'm
it's
aware
okay.
of it. God damn.
But receiving, and that's another thing. Like that's why I always go back to self-love because without the self-love, it's hard for you to receive that because you don't feel worthy of those compliments. You don't
Mm.
feel worthy of somebody paying for your dinner. So the self-love helps you remember that you are perfect, that
You
you are worthy,
deserve
that
it.
you are source. Yes. And so when you know that, then it's easy. I was at a birthday dinner. My friend invited me, and the one of her uncles at the table was paying for everyone. And I
Mm.
remember I was thinking, I saw my friend go into her wallet to get money. And
Yeah.
then I was like, should I? And then I was like, no, this is a moment. Like, this is a moment.
Mm.
You sit here. and you receive.
Yeah.
You sit in your energy and you receive. But yeah, so you have to really be open to receiving. And then I think from that, it starts to come in different forms, in all forms. And I remember Bashar, this
Oh, I
channel,
love Bashar. I love
yes,
Bashar.
says abundance is having what you need when you need it. So if you don't need it, if you don't have the money, then you don't need the money to do what you need to do right now. So what other forms are trying to come in to help you? But if
What?
you're not taking it, you're
What?
not getting to where you want to be.
Maybe, maybe because you expecting that $100 to be in your account for something, but maybe it was that person who you met that offered you the opportunity to be your friend. That's a more valuable currency. Maybe
And
it's
then they knew someone else, and then they invited you to go here and talk on Richard's podcast, or
come on, and
and
ah,
you fumbling the bags.
please don't fumble the bags. Oh God, damn, do not fumble the bag, guys. Everything is abundance. It can. Oh,
Everything, every little thing, be extremely grateful. Gratitude is a very powerful process that really shifted me out of a career, a job that I did not want, to another job that's fulfilling. It was the first 6-figure job that I
come on,
landed,
come on,
and it's fun. I get to hang out. I go to the best spots in Miami for free. And listen, y'all,
come
abundance,
on,
I don't pay for any of it.
come on.
Like, I don't pay for my travels. I don't pay to go to Carbone, Drake.
Oh,
But
this is
and it
amazing.
only happened because I was deep in gratitude, even gratitude for where I did not want to be. I had to find things in
Yeah,
that job to be grateful for. It was like, oh, the toilets are clean. Oh, I'm grateful I have a
damn,
clean place to use the restroom at this job. I'm grateful
damn.
for the technology that this job is providing me. In 2 weeks, I got contacted. I didn't even need to go after it.
What the fuck?
It was lit. Sometimes I want to go back to those times where it was
Damn.
just when it was just, I'm still excited, but it was just the first time, and then being a little Black girl who's
Yeah,
told, you have to work twice as hard to get half the pay, or you don't got McDonald's money, or,
yeah,
so being able to truly love myself into everything that I want it's just shocking. And sometimes I'm like, I have to say, no, this is a big deal. Like, this is beautiful.
yeah.
So,
Damn. Because I know a lot of people who are probably listening, like, I don't want to work at my freaking job. But you were just holding that attitude of gratitude and just appreciating the little things. I'm pretty sure you were having, those thoughts
oh,
like it would be dope to be on a blah 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 and do this and do that and like fully believe it.
Richard, it was so bad. Like, I was almost depressed. I had
I
headaches because
feel you on
I
that.
did not like this job so much. Um, but the thing is, like, everything is energy.
Everything is
So
energy.
me attracting another job from that place of hate and desperation and not
Mm,
wanting to be there, I may have attracted another place, but it was going to be the same
same
environment
thing.
energetically.
Oh, damn.
So it was like, okay, so I got into, gratitude, and I truly, and at the end of it, I shifted the energy so much. I was like, you know what? It might not be so
Yeah.
bad, but I know it was
Damn.
time to go. So,
Come on.
yeah, you can't get too happy from being unhappy.
No, you can't. Oh
Mm-mm.
man. This
That's
is
the
some
same. Yeah. It's
it's
the
some
same with relationships. We try to
yeah.
attract a relationship from a relationship that we hate.
Thing how
That's
it
why we
work.
say same, what did I say?
You
Different places.
different fuck, I always say this. Same lesson, different face.
Yeah. So,
Same shit. Gigi, I always ask this last question to my guests.
mhm.
What would your message be to humanity during this time?
Oh, to humanity during this time, I would just always say, just go back to your heart when you are feeling overwhelmed, unloved, not secure, hatred, anger. Just always go back to your heart, sit with yourself, call on God, source, universe, whatever you believe in. Just always go back into your heart, and you will be given the peace that you are seeking, the love and the joy and the oneness that you are seeking.
Bars. Bars straight from Miami. Bars. Gigi, I appreciate you so much for being on this episode. I hope, guys, that you gained a lot of wisdom like I did today, because this was a dope ass episode.
Um,
I can't wait for part 2. Appreciate you for being on.
Thank you, Richard.